Hello there. Welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. Sometimes I have to do these. I don't mean I have to do them, but I have to do them if I want to do them on the regular, on a consistent schedule. And I have to do that especially during college baseball season. But anyway, and I think this is Tuesday at the time of the recording. You might be watching this 10, 12 years from now. But I think in 2 days I'll do two more, an early and an afternoon. We have two Canadian blended whiskeys, one from 1961, and it's called Canadian Leaf, and this is all I've got left. Maybe enough for two, I doubt it. It's a Canadian blended whiskey. It's a Canadian whiskey with natural flavors, bottled by Oak Park Distilling Company of Baltimore, Maryland, which is really Majestic Distilling, but it's actually owned by Sazerac, an old distillery, been there since the 1800s. Mainly, or only today, I think they just blend and bottle. Blend and or bottle or both, but not distill. Okay, no age statement, so I'm thinking it's older than 4 years. Age longer than 4 years. We're going up against Canadian Crest. Introduced in 1987. It is a private label brand, Albertsons, made for Albertsons, also by Sazerac, but it says on the bottle, the Founders Company. Louisville, Kentucky. Who the heck is the Founders Company? Well, that's Sazerac. Black label with gold writing in the red fleur-de-lis. And it's approved by John James. Who is John James? I don't know. The distiller, master at some place in Canada. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. A distinguished blend. I don't know who it's distinct, where is this regarded? Who calls it distinguished aside from the people who produce it? Special blend. Authentic. Well, it's real. Special. Okay. It's made especially for Albertsons or Jewel-Osco or Vons or Safeway. Super value. Okay. A distinguished by whom? I don't know. Blend of choice ingredients. Compose this delicate whiskey. Delicate. Okay. Enjoy the distinctive experience of this Canadian blend. Well, I think it would be fun to have that job, to come up with all these descriptions for this kind of stuff. Well, it's out there on the market. And you might say, why do you even do this to yourself? Well, I'm not doing it to myself. They're quaint. It's fun. It's not any kind of great tragedy. It's kind of dark. Probably add coloring. Don't know that. Now, if I had to do camo every day, if I was doing camo beer, yeah, that would be doing something bad to myself. That I would not do. That would be a real challenge. I couldn't tell the Canadian Crest apart from the Albertsons Canadian blended whiskey. I didn't even bother looking at the bottom. It would have been a useless endeavor because they tasted identical. Now these I don't, you know what? Let's see something. No, I gotta finish it off. There's no point trying to drag that out. That's it. Bye-bye, Canadian Leaf. You served me well. Actually, it did. It wasn't bad. And it did all right in the taste challenges. So, oh, I know what I'm gonna do coming up. I was trying to think down the road. I forgot about Royal Canadian. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one last in the lineup that I currently have. Oh yeah, Royal Canadian. Okay. Almost forgot about Royal Canadian, but when I looked at that label, it made me think of the Royal Canadian. Also, Sazerac these days, and that came out in 1934. Whoa. Now you might say Royal Canadian, that stuff's not popular. That's one of those stinking whiskey brands that lurk on the bottom shelf in the dark corners of America's cities. Yeah, I know, but it's been doing that since 1934, you understand? It's been lurking and earning since 1934. Somebody got to do the dirty work, you know what I mean? And that brand is doing it. Every cop can't be famous, you know what I mean? Every policeman can't be famous. Some of them got to do the dirty work. Got to do the jobs nobody else wants. They're not the best cops. They're, you know, they're okay. They stay employed. They're just working for retirement. And that's what Royal Canadian's doing. It's not doing anything that you'd want to do or I'd want to do, but it's earning its pay. And that's what these two things are doing here, Canadian Leaf and Canadian Crest. The only thing that makes them exemplary is that they exist. You know what I mean? They still survive. They're still around. Well, they're golden. They're clear. They have decent little alcohol legs. They look very similar. I think that, let me sip this one down. I don't know which one it is. See, it's good that I have bad short-term memory because then I can't cheat. I mean, I guess I could figure out a way to cheat. I have no desire to cheat. Now, you might be saying, when are you going to do some really good brands? Well, I did some. I did Cutty Sark, right? I did Seagram's VO Gold. I did Canadian Club 12, Canadian Club, I'll try to say it right, Canadian Club Classic 12 year. Yeah, no, there's a lot more that I need to do that are good. I did Jack Daniels, did Jack Daniels Green Label, did Jim Beam, did Jim Beam Choice. Did some good stuff. And I intend to do more. Okay, I've done the cheap ones. I can't see buying any more American blended whiskey. They're all so common. I'm not going to say bad. They're common. Ordinary, plain, bland, dull, unexciting. All right. I don't see the point in buying 25 more that are going to taste just the same. I got a bunch of left that I got to finish now as it is. I got to do so many. The blended scotch, the cheap blended scotch. Okay, I've got enough of those. I might buy Inverhouse though. I've heard some good things about it. I might buy a Passport Scotch. Heard some good things about that. One of those old 60s brands. VAT 69, yeah, but I can only get VAT 69 gold. I'm gonna have to look for that thing. Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I plan to buy J&B, and Dewar's, and Grant's, and Johnny Walker Red, and the Black, and everything else, and Crown Royal. I mean, look, it's been years now. I haven't bought Crown Royal. I mean, get with the program, right? Get with the program. But you can't rush it. I mean, I'm not gonna have a huge backstock of 10 dozen brands that I'm just nipping through. You know, I'm finishing these things off. Believe me. Bourbon, brandy. Okay, I might buy one brandy brand a year, one new one a year. Bourbon, one new one a year. Now, brandy, I could really do taste challenges and I wouldn't get bored with it, but the viewers don't seem to like it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. So if the biggest comment I get is, why are you doing brandy? why don't you do whiskey? I'm like, okay, I'm fighting a losing battle. So, and bourbon, I'll probably get one a year of those. I don't really like bourbon too much. Like I said, it already talked about it. It tasted like corn to me, grits. It's like, all right. Now, my friend David is much more picky or peculiar about stuff, right? So like he wanted to try this Canadian Limited. I told him, I said, before you buy it, you could try it, at my house. But he took a couple of sips and said, dump it out. It's terrible. It tastes like cough medicine. It tastes like Jägermeister in a whiskey bottle. I said, oh boy. And then the Albertsons American blended whiskey, same thing. Dump it out. I was like, I don't really want you trying my whiskey that you're going to just waste them. Valentin George said, hello again. Hello again to you. Now, I don't know what you think about these. You probably hate him. He liked the Canadian 12-year, but that one's more woody, traditional. It's not flavored with all these exotic, other probably cheap distilled products like brandy, bourbon, and rum, and some kind of oddball wines. They're not using Pappy Van Winkle bourbon to flavor this, right? Go look up the Sazerac rum brands. That's probably what they're using, one of those, and find like the cheapest ones. If they're using gin, they're using Crystal Palace. All right. I think in this taste challenge, I think they're a little different. I think I'm going to find out they're a little different because the one coming from Maryland, bottled in Maryland, it seems to be a little different than the Kentucky one. I don't know what their processes are there at Majestic Distilling, but it seems like their stuff's a little different. The blended whiskeys taste like they have a higher rye content. Now you say, wait, hold on, back up. You just said you didn't want to do blended American whiskey because they all taste the same. Now you're talking about how they're different. Okay, you got me there. Yeah, we'll have to buy some more, depending on the price. You could variate with challenges of vodkas or different types of international liquors. Vodkas are very popular these days. I could do that. Yes, or gin, But I don't know, man. I cannot live 1,000 years. Like if I was going to live 1,000 years, and there was no time constraints, I would just do that, But it's like I'm up against time clock. You know what I mean? It's like I'm 50 years old. If I live to 99, God willing, I'll be still working on these whiskeys. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I can't hear you. What? I can't see you, but they'll probably have some internet thing we can hear through the. Or you could just be there with you reviewing, like the Jetsons. I'll just teleport to your house and we'll review together, and then I'll come back. But you got to take care of me because I'll be old, But so it's gonna take forever, in a practical sense. So I don't know. I can't get to those. I would like to, but it's probably not gonna happen. Yeah, already I think this is the Canadian Leaf initially. And why is that? Well, yeah, it has an underlying grain, whiskey, grain, alcohol, corn distillate thing going on. Yeah, they're gonna all have that, but that's the bottom note. These things tend to have a top note and a bottom note. The top note is all like the little flavorings, You have great hair for your age. Actually, you are not old. No, I didn't say I was old. I said I was middle-aged. I'm not old. I'm not young. Yeah, it's keeping its color, right? It's not turning gray so fast. And I don't add any color. I can't stand when people add color. I mean, I don't care what other people do. It just to me, it looks fake, It's like if they didn't add color, you wouldn't notice it. You might not even notice that their hair is changing. But you see them and their hair is jet black or totally brown, or totally reddish brown. It's like, yeah, right. I'm sure your hair has never gotten gray at all. And that it like stands out more. It's like, in their mind, they're thinking people are thinking I'm younger. No, people are thinking you added color to your hair. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion of it. Don't make me start ranting about customized cars. I mean, I'd rather stock. I like the way they looked in the brochures, the old car brochures. As you see them at the car dealership, people say, look at my '64 Ford. And I'm like, Oh, why'd you put those rims on it? I'm thinking like you ruined it. Yeah. Okay, I like them to be like they were meant to be. Okay, so the top note, Maxwell. Hello again to you, Maxwell. The top note is the fruity, quasi-fruity-esque additive things. And I didn't say unnatural. It's not unnatural. It's just that. Okay, let's go over here. Whoa! Well, right off the bat, let me tell you right now, right here and now, at this right minute, they're not the same. This thing is so... Okay. Wow. This smells like some kind of candy. Now, it's like confectionery sugar. If you buy that bag of confectionery sugar when you're cooking, that candy sugar. Whoa. What is that? Oh, some kind of honeycomb. And there's an underlying grain alcohol, you know that. But it's, oh, this thing is, well, it must be the Canadian leaf because it has that buttery rum. And John and Nille talked about that. He said, oh, yeah, you're right. He bought a bottle. It's so depressing because like any bottle size you buy of Canadian leaf is plastic. It's that elegant. It's so elegant. It's all plastic. I mean, heck, at least the Albertson store brands are glass. At least they're glass. Go to Walmart. All their store brands are plastic. It just says Walmart, 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 Walmart. Like it screams out Walmart, Walmart, Walmart. It's like an entire store made out of plastic. All right. I had a friend. I said, you like those 85 Camaros? Or like in the 80s? He said, no, that's like everything's plastic. I remember him saying that. It's like plastic. The whole car is plastic. I said, what? He liked the 78 Camaros, you know. That's metal, you know. And they had a lot of plastic on those too, but he just hated the 80s. Valentin said, you have, oh, Soundview says, nice. Thank you. Okay, this must be the Canadian Crest, and that must be the Canadian Leaf. But we are going to, it is a taste challenge. So let's taste them. Here, you taste a little. See what I'm talking about? Tastes like candy. Whiskey does taste like candy to me. But like, you know, candy with a lot of grain. You know, the underlying taste is that base grain alcohol, which is made from corn. You say candy corn. Well, okay. That must be Canadian Crest. Here we go. Take a little sip of water. Oh, what you, wow. All right, okay, I'm gonna make Wow. Okay. What happened? No, yeah, you see, it has more of that Canadian leaf flavor. And that Canadian leaf flavor is like this rich honeycomb. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, plastic containers are just sad. Right. So go to Walmart's liquor selection area and you'll become sad. Or very sad. Right, what is the weather now? Very incredibly humid. I was just out there walking and I could not get over it. The air is totally still. Like there was a breeze for a few minutes, and then it was like totally still air, like about 85 degrees, because it's overcast, cloudy. But it's like total like if you were in a shower and it was just steam that filled up the entire bathroom. A sauna. Let's say it's like a sauna. And I'm not exaggerating. You say, oh, you people in Louisiana, you just exaggerate. It's not that bad. Well, you've been here before? Well, no. Come here and you will see and you will believe. I went to Georgia. It was very humid last month, but nothing like this. John and Nellie said, it's so humid out here. I said, really? It's not actually that humid. For me, I said, come to where I live and you will think this is not that bad. Just like saps your spirit, you know? That's why it feels so cold in the wintertime around here. You say, well, it's only 48 degrees. I know, with the humidity. You know, if you're in chilly weather, 48 degrees and you're soaking wet, you're going to feel cold, right? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it is. So here on the left could be your right. On the left, it's like more basic. It's like basic, slightly flavored Canadian whiskey. Not bad, not remarkable. Just what do you expect for $5.99 a bottle? That. But you can get it for $4.99 if you get the Albertsons brand, and it's like the same thing. Okay, over here. What is the percentage from the Louisiana population that speaks French? These days, I would be surprised if it was 20%. I'd really be surprised if it's 10%. I don't know. It can't be too much. I mean, they have French radio stations. Like if you go out to West Louisiana, like around Lafayette, Abbeville, and all that, you can be driving through and listen to French radio stations. And everything you know is en français. You can, I guess I can kind of understand them a little bit. They have a French radio show here on Sundays. And if I go to like the Knights of Columbus meeting or the bingo at the Knights of Columbus, some of the old people be talking French, you know. These guys are all 70 years or older. They're speaking French to each other. But do you see any 10-year-olds or 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds speaking French? No, you do not. Or 40 or 50. When I was a little kid, let's say this is 2018, let's say 40 years ago, 1978, or let's say 75. We would drive down to through Lafourche, Paris, going to Grand Isle. And we'd stop to use the bathroom, the restroom, and go into the bar. And they all be talking French, you know, at the bar. All these men be drinking and talking French. All the way down there. And my grandfather would go, and you'd hear him talking French over at the marina. Like he would go talk to Dudley Gaspar and they all be talking French. Okay. But now it's not, you know, it's dying out. Craft Beer Pour says, cheers. Cheers back to you. So I think so if you watch these television shows about Louisiana and it's some crime show or whatever, and they're all talking French in New Orleans, it's fake. I speak a little bit of French. Oh, okay, Valentin. Très bien. Très bien, mes amis. All right. Bienvenue à Louisiana. All right. But that's all fake, you know, on TV. They don't even have the right accent if you watch. They'll be like, here we are in New Orleans investigating the crime. They'd be like, hi, y'all. Welcome to New Orleans. We are down here in New Orleans. I'm like, yeah, I never heard anybody speak like that in New Orleans. Unless they weren't from New Orleans. All right. What else am I guess? This is the Canadian Crest, and this is the Canadian Leaf. And here we go. Now, I am a little shook up because I'm wrong. This is the Canadian Leaf. Oh. Hey, well, if I'm bad at this, you get on and do your own taste challenges. I'll watch yours. You might be better at it. I thought this was Canadian Crest. Oh my, oh my. This year, you did not have a tornado? They didn't have any tornadoes. They might have some hurricanes later, which we don't look forward to any hurricanes. No tornadoes. They had a bad tornado hit here about 5 years ago. I heard it. I thought it was coming to my house, but it was actually going perpendicular. And it destroyed a bunch of houses. I mean, destroyed. I drove by. They were just flat. Didn't kill anybody, I don't think. It was bad. At first, I thought it wasn't too bad. I said, no, it wasn't too bad. Little did I know. Destroyed like 30 houses. Don't worry, that happens to the best of us. I guess. I don't know. Maybe they have some good people. Maybe they have some people that do taste challenges that are good at it. I don't claim to be good at it, really. I just do it just to try to learn, you know. Canadian Leaf, CL. Golly gee. Oh, can't believe it. I mean, I was so confident, you know, I just thought, I got this. I got it, you know. Oh, man. Now, the next challenge in 10 minutes. No, just kidding. In 2 days. That's what I ought to do. One challenge every hour for 10 straight hours. That would be something to see. Be a disaster, right? Okay, the next challenge coming up in 2 days is Canadian Crest versus Canadian Club 1858. You know, the original Canadian Club from 1858, which if you look at the website, it tells you it's not really the real one. Like they say, although the recipe has been changed. This is very similar to the original Canadian Club. Okay. I don't think I'll get those confused. I don't see how I could get those confused. If I'm paying $5.99 and I'm getting it confused with something I'm paying $11.99, $10.99, hey, wait a minute. After that, it's Canadian Crest versus Canadian Club Classic 12-year. Now, if I get those wrong, you better just stop watching this channel. I'm going to get a 12-year age Canadian whiskey, and it's not made with natural flavors that they say. I don't think they even have to disclose it. Sazerac just does that as, you know, courtesy. But if I get that wrong, oh, I would really doubt. I would say you shouldn't watch the channel, you know. Because there's no point to it. Then I just don't know what I'm doing. And then after that is a Sequence VO. And then the VO Gold, which is age 8 years. If I get that wrong, I mean, come on now. And then it's Royal Canadian. And I shouldn't get that wrong because Royal Canadian tastes like regular whiskey without flavoring. It might have flavoring, like a little bit of sherry in it or something. But it does not taste like these two, like really like the drizzle rum cake and all of that rich, buttery stuff. No, it just tastes like regular old plain dull. My daughter said it was very bland whiskey. I'll concede that it's bland. She admitted that it wasn't bad though. But she's used to drinking all these expensive bourbons that her friends, mainly her friends, let her drink. And so to go from that to the Royal Canadian was a bit of a shock for her to step that far down, you know. So I got it wrong. What can I say? I'm sorry, you know, it happens. So. Ooh, scary, says Maxwell. Yeah, it was scary. What's up, Ron? Did you get beers right all the time in the beer taste challenges? No, I did not get them right all the time. I got them right most of the time. And I guess I got the whiskeys right most of the time. I'm not sitting here keeping records, you know what I mean? But I've failed a good amount of times. But then, you know, I don't see a lot of people on here doing these taste challenges. They do it occasionally. They seem to do a good job. Mostly they don't try to tell them apart. They just tell you which one they like better. That's fair. That's fair. If you can't tell Miller High Life from Old Milwaukee, that's fine. And what difference does it make? You don't need to tell them apart. You just buy it. There's Old Milwaukee. It's in an Old Milwaukee can. There's Miller High Life. It's in a Miller High Life can. If you just want to say which one you prefer, that's fine. It's, I just try to see if I can tell them apart. Now, which one of these do I prefer? Well, I did say that the Canadian Crest was more flavorful, so maybe I prefer the Canadian Crest, even though I thought it was the opposite. So, okay. And it's about the same price, so okay. Canadian Crest wins by a hair. But it's interesting. Alex says, hey, Ron, what happened to John from Zone 1 Beer Club? I was thinking about that today. Good question. What did happen? No one knows, really. He was doing the Zone 1 website, or I should say Facebook group, right? And that was pretty active, like around, 2015, 2016? Like, it was pretty active, They had a lot of postings. Then he was doing his video channel. That was going along pretty 2 or 3 a week, right? Yeah. Then around 2016, things started to slip. I noticed. He had contacted me and said he didn't want to do the examinations anymore. Well, I was dying out anyway, because remember, we used to do an examination every Wednesday. And at first, a whole lot of people were interested, oh, let's do it, But over time, they more and more dropped out, because they're thinking, how long is this going to go on? And I'm like, oh, well, forever, just for the rest of your life. And they might have been thinking, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. It was fun for a little while, for a year or so. It was a lark. It was, nice. But I don't want to do that every Wednesday night. And I could understand that. But then another problem was I ran out of ideas. It's like, okay, we've covered about every brand I could think of. And then we started running into problems where people couldn't get the beer. I can't get that beer. I was like, oh, and then they would be upset because they couldn't do the, they couldn't join, or they could watch, and join, but they didn't really want to do that. They couldn't get, so that was discouraging for them. And then I said, well, I can't think of anything else. And they would, so it was no use trying to think of all these things, and then only a few people would participate. And so I said, well, let somebody else do it. I just literally couldn't think of anything else to do. It wasn't like I was angry about it. I just couldn't think of anything. And so Eric and Tyler Mansell, they wanted to keep going. I said, well, I can't think of anything. Do you have any ideas? They didn't really say anything. So I said, well, I didn't make some big announcement like, this is the end of examinations. I don't do those kind of things. I just didn't schedule anymore. And then, but they started, well, of course, then they started asking me, when are we going to do another one? I said, well, I mean, and like one of them said, do you mind if I do it? I said, I wouldn't mind if you did. I'm not jealous about those kind of things, Oh, okay. Eric Fromfelter, he wants to start doing them. And then Tyler, I'll do them on Friday night. I said, okay. I said, I can't always join. I have to do other things. Go to baseball game, work at bingo. I don't just sit around doing reviews all day. You say, oh, yeah? Yeah, well, all right. So they've been doing it. And for how long, I don't know. They'll probably get sick of it eventually. They don't seem like they're going to, but, you'll see. But they might not. I might be 10 years from now saying, I thought they were going to get tired of it. They keep on going, So, but then John, going back to Zone 1, he came to New Orleans twice. His wife came. We visited, we had a good time. They said they had a good time. Everything was cool, and then, but he had contacted me and he said, I don't want to do it anymore. I said, why? He said, well, Eric's making fun of the beers I drink. I said, what? Couldn't understand that, like caught me off guard, Now I would notice Eric wasn't making fun of him. He would just say, wow, I wish I had that much money. Like he was kind of like bragging on like extremely expensive beers that they would be drinking. He would just say, well, that must have cost a fortune, which probably it did. But he took it like he was ridiculing his selections. I said, he's not ridiculing your selections. And I told Eric, I said, he thinks you're ridiculing his selection. Oh, what? He said, I didn't ever intend to do that. So I thought that was strange a little bit because I didn't think he was trying to do that. But then, so he didn't participate as much, a little bit. He didn't seem to really be too enthusiastic about it. And I don't pressure people to do it. I just say, here, we're doing this. Oh, okay. So that was the end of that. And then he had Zone 1, like you talking about on Facebook. A lot of postings, a lot of postings. Then it seemed like there wasn't a lot as much. And they used to always have a get together every Thursday night, and they would post all these photos of all this incredible amount of beer they would drink. And that seemed to stop. Not to say they weren't still doing it. They might be doing it now. But I wasn't seeing the photos. And I thought, and then people were, it just wasn't, people were posting on the site, but it wasn't a whole lot of activity. And then one day, there was just nothing, you know, like I went to look at it and it was only 3 members, like John and then a couple other guys that he lives around that they started the group together. I said, 3 members? And I said, well, they must have just decided to kill it off. And then some people started contacting me. What happened to Zone 1? Like Giant Space Monkey said, what happened to Zone 1? I said, I don't know. It was just like they all of a sudden had 3 members and everybody else got kicked out the group and then all the content was gone. He said, that's weird, you know. I said, I know it's weird, you know, it's strange. And nothing's it wasn't like people were blocked from it. The group is still there, but it's nothing on it. You know what I mean? It's like a dead, it's nothing. And I told Giant Space Monkey, I said, well, you could join Alcohol Eggs. There's a lot of activity on Alcohol Eggs on Facebook. Oh, okay. He said, well, he'll join that. So there's always people posting on there. It's not a huge group. The goal of it was never to be huge anyway, but at least it doesn't have a lot of controversy. Like some of these groups, they spend all their time fighting and talking bad about each other. Like you get on some of these groups and it's like some controversy all the time. You know, there's people saying, you're a bastard, you know, go to hell. I'm like, why are they fighting over beverages? You know, it's going crazy, you know. I wouldn't want to be part of that stuff. But so yeah, the answer to Zone 1 is what I just explained to you. I don't really know. And I don't hear from them much. Was there any harsh words or a fallout? Not to my knowledge. There was not. No. Nope. I don't know anything about anything bad. I don't know anything about anything bad. And if it was, I'm not aware of it. Just not aware of it. I just don't know. It's peculiar to me. You know, you find it strange. I find it strange now. That's all I can hear. What else can I do about it? I can't do anything about it. Daryl Lee says, I'm enjoying some ice cold Schlitz at the moment in Cheers. Yeah, Schlitz. I might go buy some Schlitz, but I got such a backstock in my fridge right now. Whoa. Valentin says, I saw that you were reviewing beers on the beer rating websites. Your reviews are the most professional and accurate. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I've been doing that for 9 years. 9 years I've been writing reviews on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate. Sure have. Might be longer. Might be 8, 10 years. Might be 10 years. I don't know. I don't track all that. Been a long time. There used to be a website called The Beer and Me, but that's gone. Ron, do you have a ballpark number for how many different beers you've tasted in your illustrious career? Illustrious. How many beers have I tried? It's in the thousands, I'm sure. I haven't reviewed them all. I don't always get around to reviewing them all. I mean, you say, well, you're not going to get that award or whatever, that badge. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are driven. That's why they put that on there, keep you, so you'll keep doing it. Yeah, well, I'm not worried about getting a badge, okay? I use Rate Beer and Beer Advocate as a tool for me to research the beers. I don't want to be their tool. I use it as a tool for me. I don't want to be their tool. You get it? So I don't know, JD. It's a lot. Alex says, Huron. Don't you have John's cell phone so you could try to call him? I do have his number, or I could find his number. I didn't bring it over. I had to get a new phone, and I don't think I carried it over, but I could find it. I have it written down. Yeah, I could try to call him, you know. I could send him a message on Facebook. But I don't want to bother him to be like, why? You tell me now why. I demand you tell me why you stopped doing videos. I could send him an email or what you call it, a text message. Yeah, I might do that today. See what happens, right? May not help anything, can't hurt. So yeah, I don't know the answer, man. Over the years, let me tell you, look, over the years, doing these beer reviews, 8 years for me, going on 8 years. There are so many people that have done it. They're here today and going tomorrow. Like, they are so into it, and they are just rolling strong, and they got all these big plans. Now, I mean, some of them get sick. Some of them have died. Well, if you die, you're not going to really do any more reviews. But I think the vast majority, you know, the reason they just lose interest, or their goals were not good. Their goal might have been, I'm going to be famous, you know. Oh, boy. And they're just out the gate, and they got the awesome production values. Watching their videos is like watching a movie, you know, like a fancy movie, and it's so elaborate. And they must spend hours a day editing. There's the problem, see? The time they put in never equals what they get out of it. And then all of a sudden they're gone. Gone. And you ever notice they'll say, I'm coming back, I'm making a comeback. But then it never lasts. They're come back. I'm making a big comeback. I'm back. Hey, YouTube, how's it going? I'm back. I've been away for a while. I had some problems, you know, whatever. I'm back. Recharge. And I'm like, okay. And then 3 videos later, you never see him. I'm like, well, what happened to the recharge? You check back. Last video, 9 months ago. It's like, golly gee. The total number could be a world record, Guinness World Record. Oh, the irony. Oh, no way. No way. They got people I'm like small potatoes compared to some of these people. Believe me, JD. They got people on there that's done 20, 30,000 brands. You watch my channel, okay, you're subscribed, and I do a lot of videos. Okay, I'll admit to that. But they got people that's way more prolific than me. You know, it's like this channel here is like nothing compared to some of these people. It is unbelievable what they drink. Their consumption is incredible. Incredible. So I don't even try to match those people. There's no way. It's off. It's just outstanding in every way. But yeah, so over the years, you've got these come here today, they're going tomorrow. So, but that's the way it goes, I guess. All right. Now, thanks for watching this taste challenge and this talk. I was thinking about doing a political video, but I better cool out. Wait till August. You say, oh, what about Trump in Russia? What about NATO? Yeah, I mean, I could do a video so quick. It was going to be about alliances. What is the advantage of alliances? I don't know. You tell me, because I'm trying to figure that out. I don't see any. That would be a great video. And I would like people to join me, but they won't join. They won't join. They just say, I say this. But come on, let's talk about it. No. Can't find Country Club 12, 16-ounce cans or 40-ounce anymore. I can't find Country Club at all. Maxwell says, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for watching. Well, that's enough talking. I'm going to do 2 more video postings tomorrow, I guess, and then maybe, well, we got a lot coming. I mean, you know, you'll see it. You'll see it. Thanks for watching this video production. And I got a lot more whiskey challenges coming up. Oh, so many more.